If you've been following The Young and the Restless, then you already know that things in Genoa City never stay calm for too long. But what's about to unfold involving Nick Newman is something that could change everything for his family. Right now, tension is building around a dangerous situation that has been quietly growing behind the scenes. And at the center of it all is Matt Clark, someone whose return has already brought chaos, fear, and revenge back into the lives of many people. Nick Newman, along with Adam Newman, is about to step directly into a trap they don't fully understand yet. And what starts as a rescue mission will quickly turn into a nightmare. It all begins when Reza Thompson makes a critical decision. Under pressure and fear, she lies to Matt Clark. She tells him that Nick and Adam are not heading back to Genoa City, trying to protect them or possibly mislead Matt just long enough to buy time. But that lie doesn't end the danger, it actually escalates it. Because Matt Clark is not someone who lets things slide easily. Once he believes Nick and Adam are still in his reach, he sets everything in motion for a confrontation that's been building for a long time. Nick and Adam eventually track Matt to a rundown gas station on the outskirts of Las Vegas. The place itself feels isolated, forgotten, and tense, almost like the perfect setup for something bad to happen. But what Nick and Adam don't fully realize is that they are walking into a carefully prepared situation. Nick, in particular, has already made a risky choice before arriving there. He had taken drugs from a storage area earlier. At the time, it may have seemed like a small decision or even part of preparing for what they expected to face. But that decision is about to become the turning point of everything. Because one of those drug bags wasn't what it appeared to be. Unbeknownst to Nick, Matt Clark had ensured that one of the bags was contaminated. It wasn't just random, it was deliberate. A setup designed to weaken, harm, and possibly eliminate Nick when the moment was right. And that moment is about to arrive. Nick and Adam's main goal is clear: they want to rescue Sharon Newman and Noah Newman, who are being held against their will. The situation is urgent, emotional, and dangerous all at once. As they arrive at the gas station, everything seems to move quickly. The tension is high, and every second matters. Nick and Adam step forward, determined to end this confrontation and bring their loved ones to safety. For a brief moment, it even looks like things might go their way. But then everything changes. Nick suddenly starts feeling the effects of something wrong. At first, it might seem like stress or exhaustion. But very quickly, it becomes something far more serious. His body reacts violently. He begins to lose control, struggling to stay on his feet. The pain becomes overwhelming, and in a matter of moments, Nick collapses to the ground. The situation turns chaotic instantly. Adam, Sharon, and Noah are shocked as they realize this is not just exhaustion or panic, something is seriously wrong with Nick. His condition is deteriorating fast, and there's no time to waste. Meanwhile, in the background, Matt Clark is not just watching blindly. He is observing everything unfold through surveillance footage on his phone. And what makes it even more disturbing is his reaction. Matt is not worried. He is not panicking. Instead, he appears satisfied, almost entertained, as he watches Nick suffer from a distance. It becomes clear that this was part of his plan all along. The gas station, the timing, the trap, it was all carefully arranged. And now, the consequences are unfolding exactly the way he intended. Back at the scene, Adam quickly tries to take control of the situation. Sharon and Noah are also trying to help Nick, but panic is setting in. Nick's condition is getting worse by the second. They realize they can't stay there. Nick needs medical attention immediately. Adam takes charge and begins coordinating a plan to get Nick out of there as fast as possible. Sharon is emotional and terrified, while Noah is overwhelmed with guilt, feeling like everything that has happened somehow connects back to him, bringing Matt Clark into their lives again. The urgency increases with every passing moment. But leaving won't be easy, because Matt Clark's presence still looms over everything. And somewhere in the shadows, this situation is far from over. The situation at the abandoned gas station is spiraling out of control faster than anyone expected. Nick Newman's condition is no longer something that can be handled on the spot. What started as a rescue mission has now turned into a desperate emergency. Adam, Sharon, and Noah are all focused on one thing: getting Nick out of there alive. Nick is barely conscious at this point. His breathing is uneven, and his body is reacting violently to whatever was in that contaminated drug batch. Nobody has full clarity yet, but it's obvious that this is not a normal reaction. Something inside his system is seriously wrong. Sharon is emotionally shaken, trying to stay close to Nick, holding onto him as if that alone can keep him stable. Her voice keeps breaking as she calls his name, trying to keep him alert. Noah stands nearby, overwhelmed with guilt and fear. Every second that passes feels heavier than the last. He keeps replaying everything in his mind, especially how this entire chain of events might have started because Matt Clark came back into their lives. Adam, meanwhile, is trying to stay focused. He knows that panic won't help Nick. He quickly assesses the situation and realizes that waiting here is not an option anymore. Nick needs proper medical treatment, and he needs it immediately. The decision is made: Nick must be transported to a hospital as fast as possible. But even that is not simple. The environment around them is still dangerous. They are in a remote location, and Matt Clark is still somewhere nearby, watching, calculating, and possibly planning his next move. Unknown to them, Matt is still monitoring everything through surveillance. From his position, he can see Nick collapsing, Adam trying to take control, Sharon breaking down, and Noah struggling with guilt. And instead of showing concern, Matt appears calm, almost satisfied. It's as if everything is unfolding exactly the way he expected. Back at the gas station, Adam carefully helps organize the situation. He instructs Sharon and Noah to assist him in moving Nick. Every movement is careful and urgent at the same time, because Nick's condition is unstable. Nick's body keeps reacting in waves of pain. At moments, he seems to drift in and out of awareness. It becomes harder and harder for him to stay conscious, and that alone raises more concern among the group. Sharon refuses to leave his side. She keeps talking to him, hoping he can still hear her voice. Her emotions are raw, and her fear is growing by the second. Noah helps as much as he can, but it's clear he is emotionally shaken. He keeps blaming himself silently, convinced that none of this would have escalated if Matt Clark had never returned. Adam takes control of the logistics. He tries to figure out the fastest route to a hospital. Every second matters now, and delays could cost Nick his life. But there's still a lingering fear in the back of his mind. What if Matt Clark intervenes again? What if this isn't over yet? As they begin preparing to move Nick, tension rises again. The atmosphere is heavy, almost suffocating. Every sound feels amplified, every movement feels like it could trigger another disaster. Nick is carefully lifted and supported, but his condition continues to worsen. His breathing becomes more irregular, and there are moments where he seems completely unresponsive. Sharon panics for a second, thinking they may already be too late. Adam quickly reassures her, but even he doesn't sound fully confident. He knows they are racing against time, and time is something they do not have enough of. Meanwhile, somewhere unseen, Matt Clark continues to watch. And the fact that he hasn't made another move yet is what makes everything even more unsettling. It suggests that this situation might still have another twist waiting to unfold. As Adam prepares to transport Nick out of the area, the urgency reaches its peak. Because now, this is no longer just about escaping danger. It's about survival. The journey away from the gas station feels longer than it should. Every second on the road is filled with tension, uncertainty, and fear. Nick Newman's condition continues to decline, and now the urgency has reached a critical point. Inside the vehicle, everything feels unstable. Nick is barely responsive, drifting in and out of consciousness. His breathing is shallow, and his body is still reacting to the unknown substance that entered his system. It's becoming clearer with every passing moment that this is far more serious than anyone initially thought. Sharon Newman stays close, refusing to let go of his hand. Her eyes are filled with panic and heartbreak. She keeps talking to Nick, hoping that somewhere deep inside, he can still hear her voice. She doesn't care about anything else right now, only that he survives this. Noah sits nearby, silent and overwhelmed. The guilt is still heavy on him. He keeps replaying the chain of events in his mind, convinced that everything started going wrong the moment Matt Clark re-entered their lives. His emotions are conflicted: fear, regret, and helplessness all at once. Adam Newman is focused on driving the situation forward. He is trying to stay calm, but even he cannot ignore the seriousness of Nick's condition. He keeps checking on him, watching for any sign of improvement, but there is none. Instead, Nick seems to be getting worse. At one point, Sharon notices a sudden change. Nick's body reacts sharply, and for a brief moment, he loses full awareness. Sharon panics, calling out his name louder, her voice breaking under pressure. It feels like she is losing him right in front of her. Adam quickly steps in, trying to maintain control of the situation. He increases speed, pushing toward the nearest hospital. Every minute matters now. Every delay could be critical. But even as they rush forward, there is a dark presence hanging over everything. Matt Clark is still out there. And the worst part is, nobody knows exactly what his next move will be. Back at his end, Matt is still monitoring events. He watches the situation unfold through surveillance access, seeing Nick's condition worsen in real time. Instead of panic, there is satisfaction in his expression. Everything is going according to his design. Nick's suffering, the chaos, the urgency, it all seems to be part of a larger plan. As the vehicle continues toward the hospital, the emotional weight inside grows heavier. Sharon is on the edge of breaking down completely. She keeps whispering to Nick, begging him not to leave her, not to give up. Noah finally speaks up, his voice filled with regret. He admits he feels responsible for everything that has happened. He believes that bringing Matt Clark back into their world has triggered this entire chain of destruction. But there is no time for deep conversations. The situation is too urgent. Adam reminds everyone that what matters now is getting Nick medical help as fast as possible. He focuses entirely on reaching the hospital, ignoring everything else. Nick's condition, however, reaches another alarming point. His body becomes even more unstable. It's clear that whatever was in his system is taking a serious toll, and no one knows how long he can hold on. Sharon breaks down emotionally, unable to hide her fear anymore. She looks at Nick and realizes how fragile the situation truly is. The possibility of losing him becomes very real in that moment. Adam tries to reassure her, but even his voice carries uncertainty. Because deep down, everyone knows they are running out of time. As they finally get closer to the hospital, hope mixes with fear. They are not safe yet, but at least they are closer to help. However, the biggest question still remains unanswered. Is Nick Newman going to survive this, or has Matt Clark already pushed things too far? And somewhere in the shadows of this chaos, it becomes clear that this story is still far from over. The moment they arrive at the hospital, everything turns into controlled chaos. The doors swing open, and medical staff immediately rush forward, recognizing that this is an emergency situation. Nick Newman is quickly taken out of the vehicle on a stretcher. His condition has not improved during the journey, in fact, it appears to have worsened. His breathing is unstable, and his body is still reacting to the unknown substance in his system. Doctors and nurses move fast, asking urgent questions, preparing equipment, and trying to stabilize him as quickly as possible. Sharon Newman follows closely behind, refusing to leave Nick's side even for a moment. Her face is filled with fear, tears, and disbelief. She keeps reaching out, as if she can somehow hold on to him just by staying close. Noah Newman is also there, emotionally exhausted. The guilt inside him has not gone away. He keeps thinking about how everything spiraled so quickly, and how helpless he feels watching Nick like this. Adam Newman stands slightly apart for a moment, watching everything unfold. But even he cannot hide the pressure building inside him. He knows Nick trusted him during this mission, and now things have gone horribly wrong. Inside the emergency room, the medical team immediately begins treatment. Machines are connected, monitors are activated, and every second becomes critical. Nick's condition is unstable. There are moments where his vital signs fluctuate dangerously, forcing the doctors to act quickly. The situation is serious enough that conversations in the room become short, direct, and urgent. Sharon is told to wait outside the immediate treatment area, but she resists at first. She doesn't want to leave Nick alone. Eventually, she is gently guided out, but she stays just outside, watching through the glass, unable to take her eyes off him. This is where reality hits her fully. Nick is not just injured, he is fighting for his life. Noah joins her, standing silently beside her. Neither of them speaks for a while. The weight of the moment is too heavy for words. Adam, meanwhile, steps away briefly and tries to process everything. But even as he does, guilt begins to settle in. He keeps replaying the moment he encouraged Nick to prepare for the mission. In his mind, he wonders if he made the wrong decision. He believes he pushed Nick too far. And now Nick is paying the price. Inside the treatment room, doctors begin to raise concerns. Nick's reaction to the substance is severe. There is talk of complications, and the possibility that his condition could worsen further before it improves. At one point, the term coma risk is mentioned among the medical team. That single idea changes everything. Outside the room, Sharon hears fragments of conversations. The words critical, unstable, and coma hit her like emotional blows. She struggles to stay composed, but it becomes harder with every passing second. Noah tries to comfort her, but he is struggling himself. The fear of losing Nick becomes more real than ever. Meanwhile, Adam receives a call or message that shifts his attention briefly. It hints that Matt Clark may still be watching or preparing something further. There is a sense that this entire situation is not fully over yet. Even as Nick is being treated, the danger outside the hospital may not be gone. Matt's influence still feels present, like a shadow that hasn't disappeared. Back inside the hospital room, the medical team continues working relentlessly. Nick is still unstable, but they are fighting to bring him back from the edge. Every beep of the monitor, every instruction from the doctors, and every tense moment adds to the uncertainty. Sharon closes her eyes for a moment, silently praying. She whispers to herself, asking Nick to hold on, to fight, to come back. Noah looks down, overwhelmed with regret and fear. Adam stands at a distance, silent but deeply affected. And inside the room, Nick Newman remains in a fragile state, caught between life and something far more uncertain. The question now is no longer just what happens next. It's whether Nick will even wake up from this at all. And somewhere far away, Matt Clark's presence still feels like a threat waiting for its next move. The hospital room is silent except for the steady sound of machines. Every beep from the monitors feels heavier than the last, as if each one is counting down to an unknown outcome. Nick Newman is still in critical condition. After hours of emergency treatment, the doctors have managed to stabilize him slightly, but his body is still not responding the way they hoped. The effects of the contaminated substance remain dangerous, and there are still no clear answers about what long-term damage it may cause. Outside the ICU, Sharon Newman stands completely exhausted. Her eyes are swollen from crying, and her hands are trembling. She hasn't moved away from that glass window. She refuses to leave. Noah Newman sits nearby, quiet and drained. The guilt he carries is still there, but now it is mixed with fear. Fear that Nick might not wake up at all. Fear that everything they've been through has led to this moment. Adam Newman finally steps closer to Sharon. For a long moment, neither of them speaks. The weight of everything that has happened is too heavy for simple words. Then Adam finally breaks the silence. He admits that he feels responsible for pushing Nick into this situation. He explains that his intention was to prepare Nick for danger, not to put him in it. But now, seeing Nick lying unconscious in the ICU, he questions every decision he made that led to this point. Sharon listens, but her emotions are too overwhelming to respond properly. She is not looking for blame anymore. She is only holding on to one hope, that Nick survives. Inside the ICU, doctors begin discussing Nick's condition more seriously. The phrase coma risk becomes a confirmed concern. His body is not fully recovering, and there is a possibility that he may remain unconscious for an extended period. That news hits Sharon hard when she overhears it. She steps closer to the glass, placing her hand against it, as if she can somehow reach him. Her voice shakes as she whispers his name again and again, asking him to come back. Noah stands behind her, quietly supporting her but struggling to process everything himself. Adam looks away, unable to watch for a moment. Time passes slowly. Every second feels like an hour. Eventually, there is a small change inside the ICU. A subtle reaction on the monitor. The doctors immediately move in, checking his condition carefully. There is tension in the room again, but also a small sign of stability. Nick is still not awake, but he is holding on. That is the first piece of hope they've had in a long time. Outside, Sharon hears that he is stable for now. She doesn't celebrate. She doesn't relax. She simply closes her eyes in relief, as tears continue to fall. Noah exhales slowly, still overwhelmed, but slightly calmer than before. Adam remains serious, knowing the situation is not truly over yet. Because even if Nick survives this, the danger that brought him here, Matt Clark, is still out there. And that means this story is not finished. Not even close. As the night continues, the hospital remains on high alert. Nick's condition is still fragile, but for now, he is alive. Sharon stays by his side, refusing to leave. Noah stays close, silently supporting her. Adam watches from a distance, knowing that whatever comes next will change everything again. And somewhere in the background, the shadow of Matt Clark still lingers, waiting for his next move. Because in Genoa City, peace never lasts for long.